Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I want to point you in the direction of a very good 8-rounder, which was on the undercard of the Jaime Munguia Jimmy Kelly main event. Good little fight. This exciting stuff. Go have a look at it on DAZN. It's an 8-rounder between EVAN Sanchez, who was a Golden Boy fighter being brought along and groomed for big things, supposedly, and Carlos Ortiz, not the great lightweight champion who, you know, beat Sugar Ramos twice and, what was it, Ismael Laguna, and who else did he beat? I know he beat a few other big names as well. But no, same name, but a very, very different fighter, at least in terms of style and his journey through boxing, because this Carlos Ortiz, this is a guy who's 37 years old. I think he owns a restaurant. He's a qualified lawyer, but he just loves boxing, so he carries on boxing. And he went into this fight against the young prospect with 12 wins and 5 defeats. No prizes for guessing who the favourite was. It was Sanchez. But there's something interesting about Carlos Ortiz's win column. All 12 of his wins have come by knockout, so he can bang a bit. And if you go back to sort of between 2018 2019, he lost 4 or 5, I think it was 4 fights in a row. One of those was to Blair Cobbs, who at the time was being hailed as a prospect, you know, someone who might make a splash. And I think he floored Cobbs in the first round, but he ended up quitting on his stool after 6. He was injured. So yeah, you know, it's the guy hits hard. Of his 5 defeats, 2 have been by stoppage, but he can bang. So when he goes with this kid, he's 37 years old, and he goes with this kid who's 24, EVAN Sanchez, 11 wins, no defeats, no draws, 6 KOs, tall kid, 6 foot tall. We're talking welterweight, by the way. Both southpaws, and in the first round they just let it all hang out. They about a minute in, 90 seconds in, they stood in front of each other in the centre of the ring and just let the hooks go, let the punches go, and you're thinking, whoa, this is a bit fruity, you know, what's going on here? This ain't going to last long. Second round, Ortiz, clearly a banger. I wouldn't say stunned Sanchez, but he got his attention. There was a slight little tremor from Sanchez, and you thought, well, Sanchez needs to be careful here, because even though this guy's got 5 defeats, his 12 wins are all by knockout. The guy can punch. You're playing his game. You're giving him a chance to win. The shorter man, the much older man, he's still got a whack. Are you going to give him an opportunity to win, or are you going to use your common sense, box, use your height, use your range, and so on and so forth? And in the third round, Sanchez, maybe his corner, I think his corner was speaking in Spanish. I couldn't make out what was being said. I don't speak Spanish, but he kind of got on his game plan and started boxing more. And he did have a lot more success against Ortiz. Ortiz, he seemed to be slowing down ever so slightly, or he was being given more to think about, a little bit less cavalier with his punches. Fourth round was the same. At no point did Sanchez appear in any real problems, any real trouble. He didn't have any real problems. But again, you were always cautious of the power of Ortiz. So I would say after 4 rounds, even fight, but it looked like Sanchez was moving up and beginning to control Ortiz, keep that power in its box, not allow Ortiz to get off meaty punches. They were still up close and personal a couple of times, and I'm thinking, you know, Sanchez don't need to be there. But he seems to like a lot of these young kids, he likes to have a row. He likes to let his hands go. And in the 5th round, it was more the same. Again, Sanchez maybe a quarter step quicker, 1 or 2 punches better, but don't get me wrong, Ortiz still very much in the fight, very much in the fight. And then at the end of the 5th round, Again, they're exchanging. Ortiz lands an enormous left hook, which stuns, or slightly stuns, Sanchez. He still had his wits about him, but he fell back into the ropes. And Ortiz, you can see why he's got all those knockouts on his record. He jumped all over him within a split second. Left, right, hooks flying everywhere. One particular left hook separated Sanchez from his senses. He skidded down the ropes with Ortiz still punching. Flat on his back, under the bottom rope, and was counted out. So the young prospect, 24 years old, his first defeat, knockout in the 5th round against a wily old pro with a great name, Carlos Ortiz. He ain't going to achieve what the old Carlos Ortiz, the great lightweight, achieved, but he keeps his career going. I should say his dual career, because he's, like I say, he's a lawyer, he's got a restaurant, he's got loads of fingers in loads of different pies, but he just loves boxing, and you can tell by the way he fights, you can tell by the energy, you can tell by the effort. His conditioning was good. He went in there with a guy who was expected to just toy with him, box him. Unfortunately, Sanchez made the mistake of not boxing, but fighting. And if you do that against someone with a big punch, it's always a risky thing. So well done to Carlos Ortiz. Yeah, he can go on and get another few paydays, another big fight. Like I say, he lost 4 fights. I think it was 2018, 2019, lost 4 fights in a row. He's kept on going though. And that's his second comeback win. 37 years of age. Who'd have believed it? So did you see the fight? If not, go over to DAZN. Have a look at it on the undercard of the Munguia-Kelly fight. Well worth your time. Good little fight that. Leave your comments below if you've got any. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like the video. It takes a second to just subscribe and it means a lot to me. And we will speak again soon. Until then, take care of yourselves.